Today we are talking about the new Mojo Bass series of rods by St. Croix. There are about 34, 35-ish models of rods in this series. I've got a few that I've picked out that are just my all-time favorites for what I'm doing all around Florida. The first one, this rod here, this is a 7-foot 1-inch medium heavy, and it's called the All-In. I use it for these little buzzworms. Okay, these worms are so popular in Florida. Speed worms, buzzworms, shallow, fairly clear water, you know, where the fish are a little spooky and they're not just gonna blast everything, but you need something you can cover water with and you could reel through cover and it never really gets snagged up. Specifically the central part of the state, from Lake Kissimmee up here to the St. Johns River area, natural lakes that have a lot of shallow emergent cover like this maiden cane. These little buzzworms are the way to go. And you need a rod like this that's 7-1, but it's medium heavy. It'll cast these little light baits well, but I've got enough rod to really move a fish away from cover, okay? So that's one of them. Getting a little bit bigger, this is a 7-4 heavy. Okay, this rod is called the Sloppin' Frog, and that's exactly what I use it for. All frogs, for buzz frogs like this that you cast out and you reel in, for hollow body frogs. I have always felt that you need a pretty big rod for this kind of fishing. Now I see a lot of people frog fish with kind of like a medium heavy. I see them throw frogs in places that are really thick, and I think frog, super thick, big bass in Florida, not a very heavy rod, and that just doesn't match up to me. I want a heavy power rod that will move a big fish away from cover. This has a trigon handle, fits in my hand, super good leverage, but it's longer and it's bigger and it's heavier, but it's balanced just right to throw these baits, to even skip cast these baits up underneath stuff and still allow me to move a fish from heavy cover. So the Sloppin' Frog. The last one that I use all over, but especially anytime that I'm around in bodies of water that have a lot of really thick matted vegetation. Places like Lake Kenansville, the Harris Chain in the early part of the year, specifically when the fish get up around mats, Orange Lake, you know, heavy cover supreme. That is when you absolutely need to have a punchin' rod, and this is the Power Flippin' Rod. Again, the Mojo Bass series. It's 7 foot 11 inches long. It's a heavy power, but it's a more moderate action. That more moderate action where the rod bends a little bit more in the midsection not only helps you cast and flip easier, but it helps you lean in on a kind of a pressure hook set and hook and move more bass away from heavy cover. You need a rod that flexes a little bit in the midsection. You want it heavy, you want it strong, but you want the action to be more moderate. Same handle, fits perfect in my hand. You'll see this one I've got a left hand retrieve